Hey, hey, y'all. Yo, shout out to all of y'all in this room right now. Y'all know y'all rocking with the best astrologer in the world. Make sure y'all pre-order my new book. Y'all, ping some people into this room. We about to go all the way in with what happened with Megan Tory Lanez. Why is this thing such a mystery? What was the astrological influences that was going on while Megan Tory was in the car? What happened? Now, y'all rocking with the best astrologer in the world. Y'all make sure y'all pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics. All right, I got the best astrology book of the whole millennium. And make sure y'all pre-order it because it's an amazing epic book. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I'm gonna ping some people in here. Um, Let me ping some people in. I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all, man. I want to just make sure that I ping the right people in here. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Pinging some people in here. Give me 1 second. Let's turn this up. Hopefully some of my people could pull up. And y'all could catch all the rooms that we do right on my YouTube. We got some sauce on that YouTube, I tell you. And y'all listen, I'm recording me, y'all. I don't give nobody on Clubhouse any permission to record me at all. Do not fucking record me at all on here. Y'all listen, in my new book, I did Clubhouse's natal chart. All right. So if you want to understand the cosmic influence of Clubhouse and why Clubhouse moves the way it does, make sure you pre-order my new book and be the first to get it. All right. Now, y'all, let's begin. And y'all rocking with the best astrologers. You rocking with the best astrologer in the whole world. So, y'all, listen. Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez is a Leo, right? He's on the early degrees of Leo, and Megan Thee Stallion is on the later degrees of Aquarius. Y'all, that Aquarius and Leo, you should already know that these are opposites. Aquarius, Leo, they are at odds with each other. When Aquarius looks over at the horizon, Leo is staring back at Aquarius. So this is why we have opposing forces, right? And Megan Thee Stallion has a Leo moon. So Megan Thee Stallion has the sun and the moon in opposition in her chart. This means that Megan Thee Stallion, her sun is in Aquarius and her moon is in Leo. But Tory Lanez is a Leo. So off this, Megan Thee Stallion's moon is conjunct Tory Lanez's sun. Now, this means that there definitely had to be some type of romantic attraction. She had to be attracted maybe to an aspect of his ego, and of course his talent, his ingenuity, his genius, right? Because they feel each other. They're emotionally compatible, but there could be like a something like an authority clash because Tory Lanez is a Leo sun, but Megan Thee Stallion is a is a Leo moon, but she's an Aquarius sun. Tory Lanez is a Leo sun, Megan Thee Stallion Aquarius sun. Tory Lanez was born at the beginning of summer. Megan Thee Stallion was born in the middle of winter. Well, technically, Tory Lanez was born at in the middle of summer, but they are opposite signs. And whenever you're dealing with your opposite signs, you got to know how to move. Now, when we talk about moving, when Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion was together that day, it was a Mercury retrograde. Um, y'all make sure y'all ping some people into this room. And look, y'all, if y'all in this room, make sure y'all pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics. Because when you pre-order the book, it's going to show you how to do all of this. Like all of this is going to be a lot more clearer to you. I guarantee you, within your first 20 minutes of reading the book, you're going to be like, oh, because it's that serious. Now, y'all, if you can remember back around that time, it was a Mercury retrograde. Mercury retro, Mercury governs automobiles, short distance traveling. When you're traveling somewhere, when you're going somewhere in your local vicinities, this is Mercury, right? Mercury is the speedy guy, the speedster, the data transmitter, the internet modem. And Mercury was retrograde, and you know that they say during the Mercury retrograde, you got to look out for arguments. You got to look out for accidents while driving. Now around that time, Megan Thee Stallion had the transiting Uranus conjunct her Ketu. This means that you got to look out for accidents. You got to look out for accidents involving steel, accidents involving metals, and unorthodox situations at nighttime. Now, keep in mind, we have this Uranus South Node thing going on, and we also have Mercury retrograde. And Mercury is the planet of cars. And Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez are opposite signs, and they are in a car together during a Mercury retrograde with another lady and Tory Lanez bodyguard. But y'all, on that day, the moon was conjunct Mars. So we had a Mars conjunct moon, and y'all, this is um your divine feminine and your divine masculine, right? When we look at the moon and Mars at the highest, we have the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies, but we have boy girl, man woman, right? So when we have the moon conjunct on Mars, this is emotions, tense emotions. This is a strong display of emotional energy being expressed. Y'all, listen, if you're in this room, make sure you pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics. Make sure you pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics. Make sure you pre-order Astrosthetics. This book is the best astrology book of the whole millennium. Now, when we're talking about the moon and Mars, this is where you have to be aware of a emotional temperament. You got to look out for your temper because Mars is the hothead. And then you have the moon, right? Very sanguine, very pristine, calm, very fluid because the moon governs water and liquids and emotions. And then we have Mars, the hothead. This means that the energy was very hot that day, And we're coming out of a brief sextile with Neptune. Now Neptune governs illusion, confusion, and alcohol. Weren't they saying that Tory and Megan was drunk, they was all drinking, and Megan the Stallion was going through a transiting Neptune? Um Neptune was in a short sextile to her AC. This means that you gotta look out for driving, literally being in a car while you're intoxicated with the opposite sex, if it's sextiling that Neptune, because that's exactly what happened. And on top of that, y'all, don't forget Mercury was retrograde. But you want to hear something crazy? Mercury went direct the very next day. Y'all, I need to repeat that. And listen, if you're in this room, you're vibing with the best astrologer in the world, make sure you pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics. All right. If you want the password, you gotta send me a message and say, "Hey Lex, what's the password? I want to get this book." And you're gonna get the book. Now let's continue. Y'all, I need you guys to remember. Remember I told you guys it was a Mercury retrograde? The very next day, Mercury went direct. Do you guys understand? All of these astrological events created the gumbo for a highly confusing social situation. Now, y'all, if you go on my Twitter, you're gonna see that I made I gave my thoughts on what I think is gonna happen with this. But the thing is that it's interesting because there had to be alcohol involved. When you look at they was in a pool, right? This is the water, right? The moon, remember? The moon rules liquids. Y'all remember? Right? They were in a pool, water, the moon, and and Mars was there in Aries. Mars governs Aries. Mars is going to be in Aries in a month from now, I think, right? Shout out to the positive aspects of Mars. All right, when we're dealing with Mars, you want to avoid temper tantrums. You want to avoid being places that don't feel comfortable. You want to avoid people that don't feel comfortable because they can stimulate that aggression. And that is exactly what happened. Something happened in that pool, and then they drove, right? During the Mercury retrograde, on the last day of a Mercury retrograde. So there was things that was on their minds that had to be expressed. And with this, Mercury was sextiling Megan's ascendant. So this is literally Mercury is in the house that it governs, which is the third house. Mercury is the natural ruler of the third house. Mercury governs driving, y'all. This is why during a Mercury retrograde, you want to avoid arguments. You want to avoid um things that may set you back. Sometimes we can't avoid those things, but we can use these setbacks to catapult ourselves forward by analyzing them efficiently. And when you analyze something efficiently, you're prepared, and preparation propels you to progress. Y'all, make sure y'all pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics, because this is some astrostatic sauce. I know some of y'all wondering, yo, what is he saying? What does he mean by this? When you pick up your copy of Astrosthetics, it will no longer be a mystery, baby. It will no longer be a mystery, baby. Yeah, your eyes is gonna be clear, and the great divine and the enlightened mind will reveal itself. And the great divine enlightened mind is always revealing itself with time. But in astrosthetics, it makes it just very clear. So make sure you pre-order the book today. And we have Megan Thee Stallion. She was going, her house of long distance travel was lit. She also has Saturn going through her MC. And this governs the bones. This governs the public. That's why this situation is such like a public thing. And we also had Neptune sextiling Saturn. That's why that there's such a confusing, mysterious energy around this thing. But we also had Neptune trining the sun. Like that's how I know that there was alcohol, or I don't think it was drugs, but there was something around that altered the mind. Something like a alcohol, or I know it was alcohol, but y'all, Neptune is also drugs and alcohol as well. All right, anything that kind of alters the consciousness is Neptune. All right. And also, y'all, with Megan, Neptune was also harshly aspecting her planet of masculinity. So even Megan, to a degree, she's confused. She's confused around this whole thing. But what it really is, it was really like. And then when you look at what Tori said, Tori was like, yo, he was Tori was being a thotty. Tori said he was being a little thotty. And that there goes that element of deception and confusion, right? But it not that's not, honestly, y'all. I don't think Tori. I think Tori will beat this case. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say that. And don't get me wrong. I like Megan music. Megan is a superstar. Tory Lanez is a genius, and he's a superstar as well. And y'all listen, Tory Lanez got a Gemini moon like me, okay? And one thing I could tell you with that Gemini moon, um, it's kind of similar to that Pisces vibe. Sometimes people won't know what to think, but that's because that Gemini moon has a tendency of confusing the public, right? So all of these energies are playing a part. And then the very next day, Mercury went direct several hours after this happened. All of these things are playing a very, very critical role in forming this situation. And Saturn governs the bones, right? Saturn was at the critical degree of 29, which means that Saturn was about to go into Aquarius. but Saturn was retrograde as well. And then you hear Megan talking about, like, everybody is talking about bones, you know what I'm saying? Like bones and fragments and whatever. Well, Saturn governs the bones. And also Megan also had a transiting Saturn conjunct her planet of unorthodoxy. This is also Uranus as well. So Uranus is what we need to be looking at here, because Megan Thee Stallion is an Aquarius and Uranus governs Aquarius. And this is also the planet of accidents. So whatever happened, it wasn't something that was done on purpose. It was really an accident. But all of the emotions was flaring up. And you know, when emotions flare up, we tend to lose sight of our logic. Emotions and logistics, astrologically speaking, they contrast each other. You know, when you're looking at something logically, you kind of have to take your emotions out of it to a degree. And this is why this particular situation, it's not gonna go the way a lot of people think it will. We've already seen numerous signs of it being a confusing situation, but um somebody here knows what happens. Somebody here knows what happened, but because of this strong Uranian influence on the transits in general, this was definitely like kind of like a freak accident. But it was also that Mercury retrograde too. You get what I'm saying? And don't forget that we had Neptune, right? We have Neptune sextiling the ascendant from Megan's point of view. So I know for a fact that Megan was definitely confused, right? Or she was under the influence, or they all was. With Neptune sextiling Megan's ascendant, this means that Megan should really just look out for her friends and company as much as she can. You know, like if Megan had me looking at her chart, y'all listen, man, I'm the best astrologer, okay? If Megan had me looking at her chart, this would have been easily avoidable. But it's really the social aspect. Megan having a slight addiction to the social aspect. But this is Aquarius, the great socializer. Aquarius is your unorthodox socialite. And this is Megan Thee Stallion, right? Megan kind of moves like a socialite. When she pull up, Megan is like, "You want to drive the boat?" And Neptune governs the oceans, but the oceans are very mysterious and confusing. When you looking out at a body of water, your mind gets kind of lost for a second. You could get lost just staring at the mystery of the sea. Under the sea is such a mystery. Y'all make sure y'all pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics, because you could find all of this information in there. When we talking about the sea, right? We're talking about this Neptunian aspect. And when you think about pirates are, we always associate like alcohol with pirates, but this is really the Neptunian energy. right? It can be very deceptive. And when you have Neptune sextiling the ascendant, how it is in Megan's chart, this is where you want to be mindful of friends and people in your network that want to deceive you. But it's not really them. It's really this energy operating on an internal level. All right. So y'all could go look on my Twitter and see what I think is gonna happen with this. You might have to scroll down a little bit and you're gonna see it eventually. But like there are so much things that have influenced this situation, but y'all, all of these things are very much like avoidable. You get what I'm saying? Megan Thee Stallion, her chart around this time, if anything, I would have told her to kind of just go by herself. You know what I'm saying? Like go by yourself. Maybe you and your bodyguard or something. You know what I'm saying? But may if you can, like avoid going out with both sexes. That I know that might sound weird, but I would have told Megan to just go by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And just honestly speaking, when you look at Megan in the social aspect, she always got a bottle. She always got like a douce, or you know what I'm saying? She pouring liquor in somebody's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So that's that Neptunian aspect. The thing with Neptune is that it's very, very it's attractive, but it's also a mystery. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the beautiful, mysterious mystery. And on this night, the Uranus energy was so strong that it opened a way for a accident to happen under the influence of mind altering substances. But just off the way that the chart is set up and the transits of the day, it was definitely that pool. It was something happened like in the water that caused all of this to happen. And yo, that night they literally went live in a pool. You had Tory Lanez, right? He's a Leo. You have Kylie Jenner, she's a Leo, and you got Megan Thee Stallion, she's an Aquarius. That means that Megan Thee Stallion and Kylie Jenner are opposite signs as well. And this is another thing that is very that you got to pay attention to, because all of these characters in this particular situation, their charts share aspects that have tension, like a square or an opposition, or y'all. So all of the energies is there once again. And y'all, I just wanted to hop on here with y'all and just go in on this situation in an astrological context, because it's very important that we understand relationship dynamics. A lot of us, when we learn how to socialize constructively and we understand how to network properly and how to build relationships, having the right relationships can save your life. Saturn isn't exalted in Libra for no reason. Saturn is the disciplinarian of the zodiac, and he does best in Libra. That's because how you make relationships are very vital to how you're gonna survive. All right. So, y'all, I just wanted to go in with this real quick. Y'all are all very beautiful, successful, positive, great people. Make sure y'all pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics. Y'all, I'm gonna upload this onto the YouTube. Y'all could go on my YouTube and y'all hold up. Let me put my YouTube in the thing up here so that y'all could be tapped in. Let me hold up, y'all. Give me 1 second. Bada boom, bada ding ding. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Let me put it in there. Boom, boom. Y'all see it right up there. Y'all make sure y'all hit the YouTube. And from that link up there, you could catch all the other videos. I'm gonna put this one up soon and the last one I did. And yeah, y'all make sure y'all go tap in because y'all, this is some very important stuff. Relationships, that's one of the biggest things that the current generation has a little issue with. Making the right relationships. We hear a lot of people talk about even women, right? On Clubhouse. When we're on Clubhouse, a lot of the rooms are about relationships and about the opposite sex. But relationships are so big because relationships is what you relate to. When you relate to something, you're finding your likeness within that thing that you're observing. When you chill out and you're watching a movie for 2 hours, you are creating a relationship to everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, when y'all vibing out with me, I want to keep it positive. I want to emotionally empower everybody. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, um, just always be yourselves. It don't matter what the world thinks about you. It don't matter what any of these weird ass people gotta say. You always be weird the way you are. Always express yourself in the most unique fashion that you possibly can. But y'all, listen up. When Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez was in that pool, something happened there. That day, we had the moon and Mars conjunct several hours before that. And we also had Chiron conjuncting Mars. Now, y'all, I don't really pay attention to Chiron. I only look at the eighth and the ninth house for that. But I only pay attention to Chiron with conjunctions. And y'all, that's why these situations happen. We have the moon conjuncting Mars. This is heat in the water. Like, even that day, if they would have went to the beach, like, any time you got a transit like that and you have water and masculine energy involved, you got to pay attention to how the flow of energy is manifesting. Like, if they in the pool and you see that there's a little bit of tension going on, and then they're about to go in a car and travel during a Mercury retrograde, and Mercury got the wheels. Mercury governs cars. You got to be a little bit careful. And y'all, this Neptunian energy is so big because Neptune is it can be very deceptive, but it can also be enlightening. It's like if you do psychedelics, some people might dumb out and wild out, But you do psychedelics, you're gonna have a religious spiritual experience. That's because all of these things are all the same types of energy. But so is alcohol. When you consume alcohol, some people consume alcohol and they could tap into some spiritual shit. Some people do alcohol and they turn into thoughts. Some people do alcohol and they turn into sages. Some people do alcohol and they go to sleep. Nap time. You feel what I'm saying? So it's really all about how you're vibing out with these energies and how you choose to build a harmonious relationship with them. Now, during this day, Megan Thee Stallion, you gotta have people around you that understand these things. And even with Megan Thee Stallion's chart, um her with the way her chart is set up, I would tell her to be very mindful of doing business with men older than you. And when you look at Carl Crawford, he is a Leo. That means that Carl Crawford and Megan Thee Stallion, they're opposite signs as well. Do y'all see what I'm saying here? Hold on. Let me make sure because I don't. Yes, Carl Crawford is a Leo. Megan Thee Stallion and Carl Crawford, y'all are opposite signs. Just like Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. You guys get what I'm saying? Like you gotta know what you doing in this reality. And listen, y'all, make sure y'all pre-order my new book because when you pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics, the best astrology book of the whole millennium, you're gonna be able to spot these things very easy. Because this is what our ancestors left this here for. Our ancestors wanted us to be aware of how the universe works. If you look at history, one of the only things that don't change is the astrological symbols. Even the books that we read, people could mess around with them. You got this version of the book, you got his version, you got this version. But astrology allows you to create your version. How do you see the universe based on your natal chart? Y'all feel what I'm saying? You feel me? So y'all listen up, man. I'm about to hop out of here. I'm about to I'm about to be out. Y'all, if you in this room, make sure you pre-order my new book. We're going to the stars. Make sure you go on my Instagram, run up my Instagram. I and y'all, I think on Friday or Saturday, I'ma do one of those big rooms on here, and I need y'all in there. I need y'all in there. Cause y'all, we gotta turn this up. We gotta turn this up. Yo, hold up. Somebody said, can you explain? I mean, cause look at this, right? Look at this. Neptune has been in Pisces for almost 10 years, right? Within these past 10 years, there are some people, a lot of people have spiritually awakened. And I can only attribute that to Neptune being in Pisces. as a transit that is underrated. Neptune governs Pisces and Jupiter governs Pisces as well. And Jupiter is in Pisces right now. This is why there's a lot of confusion and a lot of illusions, and people are so befuddled by what's going on right now, because Jupiter and Neptune are in Pisces and they govern Pisces. And Pisces is the illusion. Like you know, I'm not gonna cap with y'all. Like with Pisces, sometimes you never truly know. But one thing you can do is feel. That this is why Pisces governs sentimentalities and compassion. When you are compassion, when you show compassion, when you're compassionate, you gotta feel that. You feel compassion. You get what I'm saying? That this is something that you can show compassion, right? And it's really through a feeling. And this is why Pisces governs the things that we cannot see. You got to show it. And this also goes into Pisces relationship with Leo, the showman, the showmanship, the exalted creative one. And yeah, Megan Thee Stallion is low key a Pisces now. You know what I'm saying? Megan Thee Stallion is low key a Pisces. So you know, like Pisces, once again, this is the alcohol and the confusion. When you're going into, this is why you got to be mindful. When you're going into relationships, you have to know the aspects. You got to know, how is this person's energy gonna trigger mine? Because we are all from, we all have our own relationship to the universe. Your A could be my C. Your D could be my A. Like, you get what I'm saying? And this also explains the power of the seventh house. The power of of perception. The power of relating and seeing the world through other people's perspective. Like that's low key a gift. But if you're under the illusion of like the Pisces energy, there could be a slight challenge with having this. Like, if someone is under alcohol or drugs, sometimes they could be hard to talk to. But that's because certain things can distort your perception. You feel me? You feel me? And when you and even with Megan Thee Stallion, I'm gonna keep it a being with y'all. Megan Thee Stallion, with her chart, she needs to be completely. She needs to master friendships. Megan Thee Stallion should master like socializing, and even she says it. Like, she says that there's certain things that she went through. Um, like, you can tell she has a challenge when it comes to making the right friends. Like, Megan Thee Stallion is a superstar. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people that might see interest in her. And it's like, yo, how do I know who my friends are? You get what I'm saying? And Megan Thee Stallion, yo, like, I like, yo, a lot of people that she kind of came up with, for some reason, she, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of them, she began into like a little bit of like problems with some of them. You feel me? But like, that's because, like, looking at Megan Thee Stallion's chart, you can tell that she has a challenge with socializing. You feel me? And I'm not talking about socializing in a weird way because she's popular, right? She's a superstar, but it's really through friendships and long lasting friendships, right? She has to um there's something like, like look at that thing with Carl Crawford. Even with Megan Thee Stallion's chart, she needs to be very mindful when it comes to doing business with men that are older than her. You get me? And this energy also influences how she makes friends, because how you make friends is all based on how you commune with people. But the people that you commune with, y'all pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. And make sure y'all pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics. The people that you commune with become a part of your community. Truthfully, truthfully. Y'all listen up, man. I'm about to hop out of here. If y'all got any more questions for me, hit me up on Instagram. Y'all, honestly, y'all don't even gotta worry about sharing the rooms. Y'all, I don't care about none of that stuff no more, man. We just having fun. Whoever is meant to get the sauce, they gonna get the sauce. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get the sauce, you gonna get the sauce, baby. What you want? You want a bottle or you want a packet? You want a packet of ketchup or you want a whole bottle of Heinz? You take your pick in this reality. All right. But y'all, my name is Lex. I had a great time vibing out with y'all as always. Make sure y'all pre-order my new book, Astrosthetics. Y'all see we got the internet going so crazy right now. Once again, make sure y'all go on my Instagram, drop some comments on my pictures, run my likes up, and let's do this. Let's get litty. All right. I love y'all very much once again. Um, we setting trends, and be careful who you call your friends, because in the end, you never really know. But it all depends on the flow, and you decide where you gonna go. Holla at me, y'all. I love y'all always. Yeah, yeah, yeah.